Hello, welcome back. Today we are going to do the second step for this quilting t-shirt, this t-shirt quilt that we're making. I have all my shirts cut up into just larger than their finished size. And I'm sure you're asking, why do I do that? Part of it is shirts stretch. The cotton that they're made out of is wonky and it stretches. So we have to put an interfacing on it to make it easier to sew and not go crazy on you. The interfacing I like to use when doing actual t-shirt quilts made of just t-shirts is P44F, Fusible Interfacing by Pellon. And I will put a link to that, an affiliate link down below. I buy it by the bolt. It's about 22 inches wide. You can cut it off, you can layer it on top of itself. I use this for t-shirts if I have something that's like a jersey or a sweater. Well, actually I use it on sweaters too, but more of like the jerseys where it's got a whole meshy hole. I will use a different interfacing, one that is a little thicker and a little stiffer, just to make it easier to work with. And it's necessary. I would not recommend trying to sew t-shirts together without interfacing. They stretch in all the directions on you. So what I'll do is I will grab the first one here, and I normally like to start with the big shirts first, and I have a few 12 by 15 shirts. I just dropped a 6 by 12. So I will grab a 12 by 15. Oh, there's two of them here. That's a 12 by 12. And I do that because I will use the scraps from the big ones on the smaller ones. But I'll lay it out and you'll notice my board. No, you can't see my board. Let me move the camera so you can see my board. Okay, now you can see my board. It doesn't quite fit. Just a heads up that we all use what we can. But I will take my interfacing. I do one shirt at a time. I go, all right, it's gonna make it. I want it to go at least over the shirt. My good scissors, if you don't want to use your good scissors, because this does have glue dots on it, by all means use backup scissors. I don't care. So I use my good scissors and I will cut it just about where the shirt ends. Now, I have an ironing board that is not cotton. It's got like a vinyl piece on it, so my interfacing doesn't actually stick to it very much. This is interfacing left over. I would recommend either getting something like this or getting a pressing mat or pressing sheet. They're like a plasticky type material, and it will protect your board and protect your iron. Anytime you go to iron one of these things on, always double, triple check that the glue dots are facing the back of the shirt. Also note, never iron on the front of the shirt because it'll mess up the designs. Always iron from the back. And do note, and I always warn clients, that there are no guarantees when it comes to ironing these, that it's not gonna do something to the pattern on the other side. Now, how hot is your iron? Whatever the directions on your interfacing say to make it. Follow the interfacing directions. Mine, it says to put it up to cotton and no steam. And I was like, okay, so that's what I set it at, cotton and no steam. And then I start in the center, set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally I've got a TV show playing in the background. Today I have a son home not feeling well while I'm doing this. So this is where I just watch TV. I relax. I know I'm not doing it for a full 5 seconds, so sue me. But you do want to make sure you get to the edges. I get as much as I can before I move it, because once you move it, it's really hard to get it lined back up on the edges. So I will get as far down as I can in my space that I have. When you pick it up, try to pick it up from all of it don't grab a corner, because if that corner's not down, now your shirt's gotten stretched and gone wonky. This interfacing I can peel up if I don't like where it is, and then replace it. That's another reason why I like using it. But I will go around and I will do this whole thing again, double checking. Yes, the glue dots are down. When I get to this edge where I have this extra, see there's extra here, I will put the iron right on the edge, not into the extra, because I will cut this off after I'm done ironing and use it on one of the other shirts. And you can overlap these and Frankenstein them on the other shirts. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's not gonna make it any harder or easier to sew through. Just note, waste not, want not. I'm making sure, and I can tell if I've ironed it because I can see in my glue dots and the puffiness of the shirt whether or not I got all the spots. I need to get a spot right there. This interfacing doesn't last forever. So when you are using it, try to sew the quilt together within, I don't know, a few months, because it does, especially if you're storing it, you can peel it up. So make sure it is stored flat or you sew it in right away. And then I go through and I cut off this little extra bit to use on the other shirts. And then I make a pile of these, and after I do a few shirts, then I will use the scraps on something. Then I'll do some more shirts, and I'm just double checking that all my corners are down. And this is why I overcut, because sometimes I get a little bit that's in, or it's the interfacing's not going all the way to the edge. You can see this is not fully centered in the shirt, so I will overcut it, because if it went wonky while I was ironing it for some reason, I have space to center it just right. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the other, I think there were 17 or 16 and a half shirts. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do those. And then I will show you, I'm gonna come down here, and then I'm gonna show you what I do next, which is the exact cut, which you should be able to figure out, but I'll do a video of it anyway. All right, so I'm gonna finish the rest of the shirts and I will see you in the next video. Bye.